Oh, God.
Boom! We are off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy, FAT Positive. It's Zach Elias. What's up, buddy?
I'm on the mend. I'm down 4 pounds since then. Crash dieting.
Did you make that up?
No. Is that too much?
No. Do you make up FAT Positive, the slogan, idiot?
No, I think I got it from you. Maybe not.
It's good. I've used it a couple times. It's got a laugh.
Since then or in life?
Since last week, I've said it.
I don't know where I heard it, but I haven't heard it much. I've heard it maybe one time in my life years ago, and it's slayed, so I brought it back. Yeah, it's good.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live sometimes. Saturdays, we post it later. People share these episodes. Tell
I had
a friend.
Funny Girl tickets. She was delightful, actually. I don't usually love musicals. It was actually quite good.
It was my girl, Lily, right?
Yeah. She replaced your girl, Beanie. What, she's high on your list?
Leah Michelle? Oh,
Yeah.
my God. Oh, my God.
You like a good nose break, huh?
I hear she's a royalty next Tuesday.
I heard she's the worst. She's like first or second cousins with one of Jenna's friends. They look a lot different. The friend is beyond. Nevertheless, the friend is the sweetest girl in the world, though. They were at each other's bat mitzvahs.
Episode 163. Calling this one Cumon, awannalaya, because we're going to be talking about my trip to Hawaii. But before we do that, Zacharias.
Is it C-O or C-U? Are you sure it's C-U there?
Why don't you tell everybody what you are drinking?
Because it's wedding season, and I got to get into bathing suit shape. I'm still going. I am still light.
Fat fuck.
Yeah, down 4. I feel like Jeannie Sack. I'm 6 pounds from my goal.
Well, Jeannie Sack, her line was, she's trying to lose 10 pounds. I'm only 15 away.
Yeah, I'm 5 pounds from my goal.
Zach, I still have one left over. I'm talking about Kona today from my 3 clear bullshits bet that I paid off last week.
You didn't seem to hate them.
They were better than some of the other ones. It was less cough syrupy.
The worst was still the black cherry. And it wasn't because it was a clear bullshit. I just hate black cherry anything, and that's what she gets me.
Kona, spiked, island seltzer, tropical punch.
Irene Garcia.
Somebody who's watching our show. There you
go.
That's what I'm drinking from Kona. Liquid Aloha in my mouth. Release the Kraken.
Yeah.
Cheers, buddy.
Liquid Aloha.
All right, Zachy. I got a lot to say. What do you got something on your mind you want to do now, or you want me to start going?
Dealer's choice. I have a couple topics. They're okay. They have nothing to do with Hawaii, but there's stuff to talk about. They're somewhat topical. So apparently there's a big problem these days of kids accidentally eating edibles because they all look like candy and they're so easily accessible. So
I don't think it's an accident. I heard this story. It was a bunch of kids at a middle school. I think it's accidentally on purpose.
No, like 5-year-olds because they look like candy. And they were like, they're like, what do you do? The answer is no, what do you do? It's weed. You give them Funyuns. It's not rocket science. You let them deal with it. You put them on the Matrix. But like, no, not kids in the middle school. Like kids are just eating their parents' edibles because they look like gummy bears or candy. It's a thing.
I had a patient about our age who came home one day and dusted off a whole bag of peach gummy rings or something like that. Yeah. Turns out they were iron supplements. So he immediately was on the phone with like the poison hotline. And they're like, you're just going to shit a brick. Like you'll be okay.
Nice. Apparently there was an ex-college athlete that got convicted for biting a man's ear off and chewing his face because he thought he was a robot. He was all copped up on the drugs. I don't know. Story made me laugh. Yeah, it's pretty good. Now, how are we getting to Mexico? Because according to Ovidio Guzman, who's been arrested by the cartels, there is some serious unrest and flights are getting shot at.
Do you have any idea how far that is from where we're going? Not to mention, they need our tourism. Cancun is totally fine, man.
Yeah, until it isn't. Until Senor Guzman shows up there.
Isn't Eric going a couple days before us, so we'll kind of know if he lives or dies?
He's not making it. He's going to be Augustus Gloop. He's playing a Oompa Loompa song and he's out. And that was a weight joke. And the story of the week for me, they have pretty much figured out, I don't know if you heard this, or at least the professor thinks he's figured out what the Loch Ness Monster actually is.
Okay. Is it Ron Jeremy's hog?
It is! Apparently a whale's penis. Now, if you do some research, they need air sometimes, or all of them do.
Penises or whales?
Yeah, penises. But certainly whales' penises or peni. So what he'll do is he'll go on his back and put his hog outside into the ocean, into the air, and it looks like Loch Ness Monster. This guy is really onto something. I read the whole article word for word, and I never go word for word.
I'm going to borrow one of your lines. Zach, how are things at home?
They're good. So there's Loch Ness, and there's a whale schwanz. You tell me it's not what it is. There you go. I was balls deep in this article.
So was that whale.
Yeah, well, it's more than that. And by the way, hats off to his lady friends.
I learned a lot about whales, actually. I don't want to segue from this. Were you more shocked about the size or the fact that you didn't think whales went belly up unless they were dead?
I didn't neither. I didn't realize it was shaped like that. He needs the Peroni's medicine, this guy. Call back. Years ago, I knew they were going to be big. Years ago, we were at the Bronx, whatever, Brooklyn Aquarium. And I've got to be all of 9 with my dad. And a dolphin swims by, and this thing is just hung. And some guy in the crowd goes, "Hey, it's a male." We lost it. This thing has like its own rudder going by. And the crowd, even me at 9, dying. One of the hardest I've ever seen my father die. We couldn't take it.
That was really good Norm delivery. When you listen back to that, hey, it's a male.
Yeah, maybe it was Norm for all I know. It was probably 1988 or 89, whatever it was. It was great.
That's good.
Anyway, he's the guy over the pond. I loved him. Still love him. Good times. I do remember you. He was like Welsh or something.
Yeah, he was definitely Targaryen.
He's a Targaryen?
No, but the real flag Targaryen, not my aunt.
The real what?
The flag.
I thought you called him something else.
So, Zach, I went to Hawaii for a little pre-moon wedding type of thing that I did, and I came back with a couple of things I want to talk about because we did Maui and we did Waikiki. And by the way, this all was Chinese to me before. A lot of Asians there anyway. But now I kind of understand the islands, and I think we texted a bunch during my trip, and I'm sorry, but I hated Maui. I absolutely hated it. It was so slow, so overpriced. Not for me.
Everything with you is price.
It matters when you have a food truck stand outside of your hotel and you walk up and it's some guy who couldn't give a shit less of with you. It's $19 for 2 tacos, and they do this. Would you like to leave a tip? I mean, they couldn't have cared less. The food was mediocre. And like, again, I lived in New York. I'm okay with certain prices.
What if you had said to him, 16, no tip? We doing this?
You can't us them down. It doesn't. They don't care.
Why can't you negotiate?
Because it's a set rate everywhere you go there. It's not like you go to the next one. Seriously, the best deal in Hawaii was McDonald's.
Oh my God. I saw a picture of you guys at McDonald's.
Because we had to. It was
Christmas.
It was Christmas Day morning, and it was the only thing open at 5 a.m. when we were up. Like, we didn't really have a choice that day.
Christmas at McDonald's? Sad people.
There was also homeless people in there with us, but they were all very nice. They all gave us one of these. I was like, yeah, mahalo.
Yeah, mahalo is right. Get the talking.
But the food trucks were horrible. It's funny because as much as I didn't like that island...
Well, of course it's overpriced. It's like the airport. They've got a captive audience. You're screwed. They can charge anything. It's the whole island, the mafia.
Exactly. And everything there was just like obnoxiously overpriced. But the best thing that we did was the touristy luau. I mean, you overpay for that. Good. You overpay for that too, but the food
You don't overpay. You see some oiled up diesel guy flipping fire. You can't put a price on that.
If I would have known how good the food was going to be, and it's open bar, and I was drinking for 3. So, like, giddy up. I literally was double fisting every time I went to and from. I got destroyed. Of course, you start talking. I'm wearing my Orioles Hawaiian shirt, and the best is when you wear an Orioles shirt and people look at you and go, "Hey, Orioles fan." I look at them and I go, "Well, what, you want to make fun of me? We're horrible." They're like, "Yeah, sorry about that. You guys are really bad."
It's such a pity party.
It is. And I ended up meeting some guy apparently who lives next to my apartment in Hoboken. It was just a weird thing. Weirder was the next day, 3 hours from our hotel, we're driving the road to Hana, and he sees me and goes, "Hey, Alan." I'm like, "Hey, I was wasted last night."
Yeah, are you dangling off the road? Because I almost did when I let Jenna drive back.
Horrible.
Jenna drove the road to Hana. She drove about a quarter mile. So, because there's a back way to go after you do the actual.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, well, not with her. After you do like the harrowing part, there's an easy way to go back, except it was closed due to lava. Cool. So we had to go back the windy way. She goes, "Oh, I'll drive back." I'm looking out this passenger side, and I just see like a cliff. I said, Jenna, stop the car. I open the door, and like I'm half off because she was so nervous about the road. I'm like, you get out, and I got out the driver's side, and then I drove again. We almost drove off a cliff. I was going to kill
We
her.
had an SUV, Zach, because we had 5 people with us. It was a nightmare. I drove for 7 hours that day. It was horrible.
That was the best move we did there because everything there is, a Mustang and a gas guzzle, or gas is like $11. So
at Costco, there's a little fun fact for Costco gas in Hawaii, $2 cheaper than everywhere else. Yeah.
So when I got to Maui, after I'd been on a few islands, they go, "Oh, we have a Mustang for you, but we can upgrade you to this SUV." I go, "No. How about you downgrade me to that Yaris I saw there?" So like I've got this Japanese car. The early time in my life, I've insisted on a downgrade. It was the Yaris, by the way, it's a crap car. Oh, that thing showed some heart. That thing limped back from the World of Hana.
So yeah, the Road to Hana, which we went there to see these waterfalls and the 7 pools. My faucet had more flow that week than anything we saw as far as a waterfall. It really wasn't worth it.
No, the whole thing is just to do the drive, just the harrowingness of the weird drive. That's the whole of it. The pools,
absolutely, Zach. Another one of my gripes, and I guess you could say this about all of Hawaii, but because we started off in Maui, the drink of choice there is the Mai Tai. Could there be a more overrated cocktail?
Is it possible?
It's rum with the most sweet shit you've ever had, hit with some dark rum on top of it. I had one of those. I was like, my stomach cannot take it. I went right back to the bartender. I was like, dude, you have whiskey? He goes, how many do you want? I'm like, more than this. I can't do this.
I don't like Mai Tais are okay. They're just too sweet.
Okay is very generous. I'm a whiskey sour guy.
We like the idea of a Mai Tai in my family because one of my grandfather was like very big voiced and always had my grandmother do things with him. And we were talking at a restaurant and we're standing by the bar. And he takes a sip of a Mai Tai. He goes, "Oh, that's good." My grandmother's name is Anita. He always calls her Nina. He yells, he goes, "Nina, order me a Mai Tai." Meanwhile, the bartender got scared. He heard him do it, but no, he still needed her to go up to the bar and order it for him. Like 3 bartenders heard him bark this order. So
Nina.
Yeah. So anytime someone orders a Mai Tai, one of my family goes, "Nina."
Good.
And it was one of those things. The whole family was there. Like he barked it over all of us. No, that's why I find Mai Tais to be charming. But as a drink,
again, in theory, but we went from that luau. I mean, wasted, dude. I had a really good time, and then I go back, pass out. We have whale watching the next morning at 7 a.m. And
whale schwanz?
I have some great videos, but the whole point is there will not be a bathroom on this thing. Bathroom, I would just plan on vomiting or shitting right off of the ship. I mean, it was
a boat. It's all water. What do you think the whales do it?
When you're a girl, what are you going to do? You can't pee off the side of the boat. But dude,
challenge accepted.
It may have been the worst experience where the whole time I'm going, I'm going to vomit the whole time. And we're on a boat watching whales just and down.
Yeah.
I know that was a dolphin sound, but you got the point.
Same hum. No, whales are cool.
It was fun. We got so close. One of them at one point started swimming at us and then goes under. And I just instinctively grabbed Julia's. I was like,
they like to play. When I was in Alaska on a fucking kayak, they come up next to you. You get used to it. Like the Princess Bride, you hear the noise and then you see the fire. But because I'm just cursed like that, the first whale of the entire trip that we saw came about 2 feet from my kayak. Not my buddies. I think I scared. I've never been more scared in my life. Like, just thing pops out of nowhere. It's the biggest thing in the world. Yeah, they like to play with you.
Yeah,
could be like they got cut up by boats.
It was fun watching. We were out there before all the other boats were. It was really fun. And then the other highlight for Maui of us was being there with Joe and her daughters. We did the sunset at Haleakala, which is this. We basically watched the sunset and we were higher than the clouds were. It made some really nice pictures. I'm sure we posted some online, but 2 hours, 2 hours to drive there and back. I was like, I like spending the time with her, but I would pass on Maui. And even on the flight from Maui to Waikiki, I'm texting people oh, we have another 4 days of this. Yay. And then we got to Waikiki. You did that Waikiki or no?
Yeah, we did Oahu. We didn't do Waikiki. We can go to the back end of the island.
Waikiki is Miami with a Hawaiian flavor and a lot of Asian food. It was
Waikiki is the backside of the island, right?
It's kind of down. If you're looking at it, it goes east to west. It's Pearl Harbor's to the west and Diamond Head's to the east.
Yeah, I think we did do Waikiki. What's the big Hilton or the big Hyatt, the big hotel?
Yeah, I think it's that one there. There's a lot of big hotels there.
Yeah, the big one. The one's enormous. That's where I surfed. Yeah, it was fun.
Well, surfing. They were surfing there, and then they're surfing because we end up doing the Lost tour, like the TV show.
Of course you did. I know what you did. You didn't have to tell me. How was the Jurassic Park tour?
Jurassic Park. It was like one scene from Jurassic Park 3. We didn't really get to see a lot, but it was awesome doing that because we got
the Big Hilton. Is that Waikiki?
Yeah, sure.
Anytime now. Yeah.
So we did that tour. We got to see the pipeline. We got to see some big waves, but it was so much fun being there. By the way, the food was 10 times better and a third of the cost. It was amazing. And we did all the local stuff. It had some corporate stuff. Meanwhile, last day of the trip, we found out there's a Wolfgang Steakhouse right on the main strip, which we completely missed. But Zach, do you know what we didn't miss when we were walking there?
I got sick one night in Hawaii at Jimmy Buffett's restaurant. Ugh.
Why would you go there?
I don't know. It was like there, and it was. I don't know what we went.
I've done cheeseburger paradise.
You went to fucking McDonald's.
It was the only thing open, man.
I wouldn't have eaten.
We had a night off, and we're sitting there eating dinner, and then I was like, maybe we'll go to a comedy club. Turns out we were in the same building as the comedy club. Who was playing the next night? Chris Kattan.
Okay.
How much for tickets? Good tickets. What are you willing to pay?
For Chris Kattan?
Chris Kattan.
I'm on vacation.
You're on vacation.
$27.
$40, and we sat in the second row.
That's a lot for Chris Kattan. Per ticket?
Per ticket. And like a $10 minimum per person.
That I don't mind, but like, all right.
If you have ever thought that you have ADD, Chris Kattan needs to be medicated.
Is he funny at least?
Zero. Like, he's a funny person. So some of the things that he just kind of naturally said were kind of funny, but like 90% of the show, he couldn't stay on a topic, and it was so weird. He also is
addict, isn't he?
He's also developing like that Big Ed 90 Day Fiance thing where like his shoulders are aboard and he has a big belly. It's almost like he has like a disease at this point. He's very like stiff, and it was weird.
It's called dad bod.
He would try to tell stories from SNL, which he was like, "Hey, what characters do you guys like?" And he did the Mango. He did a couple of things. He told
Mango
a night.
Was very good, by the way.
He told the Night at the Roxbury story type of thing. He's like, I met the guy who sings a song. Didn't even say thank you for all the money he's made over the years.
That's funny.
That was it, dude. I'm giving you the highlights. It was so bad, but the opener terrible. The feature guy was solid. He had some solid shit. The best part, he goes, I drive Uber here for people on the island, and the tourists always go, "Hey, can you show me something? Like, what can I find here that nobody knows about?" He goes, I don't know. Want to see a homeless Asian guy? There's one. Oh, there's another one. Guy. He also drops one of Julia's lines. He goes, "My sister married a white guy." And he goes, and I guess he didn't realize how strong the Asian gene is. Their family photo, it's like Steve Jobs and all his workers. The guy was good.
That's good. So wait, your kid's gonna be very Asian-y?
Unfortunately, yeah. No, it's not great. So from another thing we did that day, we went to Pearl Harbor, where I didn't know how I'd feel, but I guess I don't realize how patriotic of a person I am, because I get there and like it does kind of get you when you watch the videos.
It gets you. Yeah, it does. I had that a little bit at Pearl Harbor, but where I really got choked up patriotic is when they lowered the flag at Fort Sumter, and we helped like do the carrying. Mm-hmm. I'm holding it back. Really, it's getting to me.
We watched this video, and it kind of ends right at like the middle. And Julia turns to me, and she's like, and I'm looking at her, and I'm like, I want to go to the Hiroshima Museum. I want to see how this story ends. And if you don't think I'm bringing an American flag to be like, America, bitches, what's up?
You Rex Kwon Do in the pants?
Dude, I'm watching this, and I'm just like, I want to watch the payback. I mean, look, it makes me say and think some really bad things. I'm like, good. And meanwhile, we then get an Uber to go to Kona Brewery, and we're Googling what happened to the guy who was in charge of it. You hear his story. It's great. He was in a helicopter plane with planes around him, Secret Service. The whole thing crashes. He goes flying out of the plane dead, still strapped in with a bullet through this way. And you're like, we're like on the way to lunch. I've never felt so satisfied in my life.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. I'm very spiteful, Zach. I don't know if you've heard.
Nice. Yeah. So it's so fun. So wear your red, white, and blue pants. Rex Kwon Do.
Speaking of,
I'm going to have to get a pair because I believe I'm going to the Ryder Cup when it comes to Bethpage. You need those pants for the Ryder Cup.
Is that sailing? What's the Ryder Cup?
Oh, the Ryder Cup is U.S. versus Europe in golf, and you're supposed to, it's the one tournament you're supposed to give it to them, and they give it to you when it's across the pond, and it's every other year. So I also want to go in Europe and just have at it.
I love
Beat up by some Brits, like the feisty goat.
we went to the Kona Brewery tap room to have lunch, and I got 2 samplers and tried all the beer. As I'm standing up, I'm wearing my Maryland flag shorts. I'm sure you're shocked about that.
Cool.
I get Maryland, Maryland, and I go, oh, cool. Hey, how was that? They're like, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from Baltimore. Where are you from? They go, we're from Pikesville. I went, there's a bunch of old people. I'm like, oh, really? Me too. And then, of course, I walk over and give them all the shtick. I mean, I'm also a little hammered at this point.
Do you know Eddie Feigenbaum?
One
Jewish geography?
It was. One woman goes, do you know? And she names her daughter. And you're finishing up Barry, so you know about NoHo Hank and his condition. Yeah. I know her daughter has alopecia. I know the girl who grew up in my town that has alopecia. I was like, no, I know her. He's like, no, you don't. And then I start describing her, and she's like, you do know her.
Did you bang her?
No, she's gross.
But still, what a story. I know your daughter was stopped.
The worst was
what would they have done?
They say like, who's your mother? And finally, I go to my aunt, Tanta Sheila, she was a little bit of a macher in the town of Pikesville.
We'll meet her next week.
And the one lady goes, oh, I know her. I go, you do? She goes, oh, of course. So I quickly grab my phone, take a picture of me and this random lady, send it to my aunt. She texts me, who is that? I went, she knows you very well. She goes, who is that? So then I call her and I have to give her all these clues. And she's like, I have no idea who that was. It was a small world type of thing.
Yeah, so machers never know the peons.
That was my trip to Hawaii, but Zach, I buried the lead with the highlight of the trip. At the airport, Christmas Eve morning, it is chaos. 1 million people going 1 million directions. We did the pre-check your bags type of thing because it's easier because there's a line or whatever. The line is from one end of the airport to the other. And what Julie and I divide and conquer. So I just said, hey, I don't know if we can go to the front or not. But I said, I'm going to get in line, go see if there's and Julia walks halfway and goes, no, that is the line. So at least at this point, there's people already behind me. So as we are moving up, we see so many people who are doing the running past us because I'm pre-check my bags. You peons are in this line. And they get to the front and then they do this.
Oh, it's a helpless feeling.
Zach, I'm standing there giggling at 6 a.m. watching people who are sprinting by us because they're so much better than they do this. Oh, and they have to go to the back. I'm hysterically laughing at everyone.
The airport's the great equalizer. Nobody's better than anyone there. It's rough.
Right?
It really is.
It was so
Unless
good.
You're really better and you're, in those little private clubs, even not the one where you need a credit card, the one where they just know who you are.
Summary of Hawaii when people ask me, for the cost, for 11 hours on a plane, starting in New York, you could do better. Go east. Go to Europe.
Go east? To what, Bratislava? How far east?
I loved it. I'm never going back.
Like the you-know-what, never again?
Jesus Christ, man.
Too soon?
Do you need another drink or what do you need?
I would love another drink, but I'm getting shredded for the wedding. I'll just have a slight beer belly, hopefully.
Zach, I wasn't quite sure what we were talking about over the weekend, but I got to be honest. Pishadoo of the week, before I even get to them, people who put their cat on a leash and go out in public, what the hell, man?
It's ridiculous. It's the stupidest. It's one in my neighborhood. He never looks like he's having a good time.
The cat or the guy?
The cat. No, the guy's loving it. The cat never looks. I'm supposed to feel bad for the cat. And my buddy Molly knows this cat too. You just see it being dragged along.
Your sassy friend.
Yes. She's very sassy. So, apparently we were told to do this. My first cat, I remember slightly this. I was 5, not vividly. My first vivid memory is 86 Mets. But so I get this cat who pretty much replaced my dad, as I said to you. He left, the cat came in. So this little kitten, we were told to go walk it. And the cat wasn't having any of it. So the walk lasted 12 seconds. So then before we get upstairs, before we take the leash off, I pulled him up. Should we try walking him again? He's just dangling there by the neck. Yeah, it's... My mom dove with this cat to try to save it. But yeah, the walking a cat is so stupid. They just run around the apartment. We're right here. Drinking.
I saw this the other day at the bookstore. I couldn't believe it. It drove
me crazy. Was the cat walking?
I don't know. It was scratching. It was really bad.
Scratch. But if the cat's actually strutting his stuff and doing it, cool. You got a trained one. Like Siegfried and Roy until it's not.
How did that go?
Well, it made him a lot of money for a while. Then it went tits up. But I don't know.
Zach, before we get to Pishadoo of the week, tell me, what you watching?
So, still watching Barry. My daughter and I just started the new season of BattleBots. We love that stuff. It's robots beating each other up. And
what season are they on? Because I remember watching it forever ago.
Yeah, it was in the 90s, and they took a hiatus, and they brought it back recently, and now Zoe's all about it.
Why are you not doing it? They have classes for little kids to do that.
How expensive that shit is. But
are you a poor?
I'm a little poor. You watch like $80,000 get torn apart in 16 seconds. You could have just put it on red and watched roulette spin and have at it. This is just as much. It's just satisfying.
Wait, you pay for the? I thought it was the classes that were expensive. It's the materials.
You know what battle an actual bot costs? It's
like but it's like a couple kids go in on it.
Yeah, and you get like some big engineering firm to pay for it. But no, for the most part, yeah. So these MIT kids, I guess that's what rich kids do, but it's richer kids. Certainly, yeah, no, it's ridiculous. I'd rather just watch someone else do it on TV.
Or you could be better at battle botting, and then you don't get your thing destroyed.
Shall we discuss? So let's battle bot. See how much money you get for your wedding that you're not asking for gifts for.
That's the truth. Don't get me started.
Now you want gifts?
No, I don't want anything. I put in our little header pre-wedding jitters. I don't have jitters as much as the amount of dumb questions that I get from people. Like, Zach,
give me a dumb question.
I had my uncle. I don't have to say an uncle. He who must not be named texted me and asked me for the website to the resort so he can book his golf tee times, which makes me go, dude, just Google it. But I was nice enough to send him the link, right? Because I'm a good person.
Do these things for you.
The next day, he texts me and goes, deleted the link by accident. Can you send it to me again? And then I responded, you need to just Google it. But then like two minutes later, I actually sent him the link again. But like stuff like that, I go,
is he a good golfer?
I think he'll be okay. I'll introduce him. He wants to go with his threesome and doesn't want friends.
What about golf?
Zach, do you know what I watch?
I don't want friends either. People were trying to Jenna, just me and Jenna are going out. That's enough. It's not like we're for scuba with flashlight.
Jen and I are going out. Yeah. So you know what's not getting any hype, which I thought was actually
What are you watching? I'm also watching Fleischman, which is getting progressively worse.
Oh, the ending's not great either. Sorry.
The last one happened already?
Yeah, the last one happened. I'm not going to tell you, but it's
but like the first couple episodes were like funny.
Yeah.
Sad.
Like, it gets way sadder. Zach, I watched the new Knives Out 2, the glass.
I want to see it. Is it good?
Yeah, it's enjoyable. What is it? Hour and a half, 2 hours? Cast is solid. The plot is a little thin, but like it's 2 hours.
One was good.
I didn't want back. I was totally. It's not as good as the first one because you don't got Ana de Armas in it.
Smoke show.
The problem is with these movies is they always got to do like a twist or something. So the whole time you're thinking about a twist, and it's just too much. But 8 out of 10. Like I enjoyed it.
That's very solid
for me, who hates everything. 8 out of 10.
Can't beat that.
Pishadoo of the week. Zach, I have 7 candidates. Are you ready?
Let's dance.
Candidate number 1. Your boy Ronaldo, who just signed this insane deal to play in Saudi Arabia, suspended for his first game because he thought he was playing in South Africa.
Pretty good. He also got a variance to be. I was going to put this, but I figured you wouldn't care. To be able to live in sin with his
that's what we're talking about.
Girlfriend. Yeah, like so essentially the rules of the Quran mean nothing if you're good at soccer.
200 mil for 3 years. They'll let him do anything.
They got plenty of money, but like they're also a repressive country, or they're not, which means that they're just making up the rules as they go. It means if you want to have a crazy lifestyle, just get better at sports.
You heard they bought the WWE, right?
Did they?
Billions. They're not releasing anything just yet. Billions. Vince McMahon just came back, sold, and then the daughter
resigned. Yeah,
billions. But
they just make money.
Ronaldo may or may not have gotten away with rape at some point in his career. He could get away with murder in that country.
Oh, public. He could just do it for fun. Anything goes. There are no rules if you're good at sports. Like that's just.
Candidate number 2. This past Monday
should move there.
This past Monday was the national championship game for college football, which don't ask me. I watched a little bit of it.
I watched almost all of it for just, pain. It's a horrible game.
Horrible game. Even more horrible, do you know that SoFi Stadium didn't allow tailgating before the game?
That's terrible.
That's 90%.
In general, or because it's a college game and there's college rules.
I'm telling you what I know. For that game, there was no tailgating allowed, which I thought was
I don't know how you could have attended that game sober because that thing was over in about 12 seconds.
Agreed. Candidate number 3, you made fun of me for going to McDonald's. I generally try to hit a McDonald's on my way. I like the break in the regular food. Also, I like to see what they have for like their local flavor if there's something fun on the menu.
The Royale with cheese.
Le Big Mac?
Yeah.
There was a McDonald's, I think it's in Iceland. I didn't quite read the whole story. That was named the best McDonald's in the world.
Oh, we gotta hit it up.
Would you eat there if you were in
Yeah.
Iceland? You
Yeah.
would?
Because they claim it's the best. I'd have to know what that's like. I would like to go to Iceland because there's a cool golf course that it doesn't matter. Now, the one I really want to hit is Nook or Nuuk, whatever, the Greenland. There's a 9-hole course. I would have no problem flying in and flying out the same day.
A Fanook?
I'd go to Fanook.
I was calling you a Fanook.
Yeah, that's idle rich. I mean, that's stupid money. But like to fly into Greenland and play 9 holes of stupid golf on a probably horrible course and fly out just to say you did it is gratuitous. Gonna happen at some point, but
next candidate, Kim Kardashian. I have 2 things I wanted to bring up about her. First one was, I don't watch the show, but the clip went viral of her and her sisters getting into a fist fight on the show. How do the security guards not jump in and separate that?
Because it's scripted.
You think? They were throwing. And when I say throwing hands, they was literally like,
Isn't there one, like, I don't remember what are the names, but like who's just bigger than the others?
She got a lot of work done. She's now more pretty.
She can still be pretty. Isn't she like 9 times bigger?
Yeah, but
the Lamar Odom one, right?
Yeah, she lost a lot of weight. She's unrecognizable. But Kim has that badunk that she can just turn around and hip check you.
Yeah.
I was surprised they got into a literally throwing hands fixed fight.
Who's the bigger one? Is that Courtney or Chloe or I don't know. Those are the names, right?
Then Kim Kardashian posted a video with her, and they put one of the kids, I think it was Northwest, basically put him in a Kanye costume, and they did this whole back and forth. Why would you poke the bear?
Because they're idiots and tone deaf and anything they're attention whores. They don't care if it's good attention or bad attention.
Candidate number 5. Victoria's Secret brand CEO had to resign after her bigger is better campaign for bigger women in lingerie has failed over the last couple of years.
So they sent her out for that?
I think she resigned because the company's losing money because she was promoting this like plus size thing.
Yeah.
Not into it, man. Be good at whatever your craft is. I don't think that's what we were looking for when you think about Victoria's Secret models.
No. There's stores for that probably.
I really want candidate number 6 to win, but there's no chance.
Okay.
Rolling Stone just put out a list of their top 200 singers, which I was thinking if you want at some point, we could go through and pick out like our top 10. It's worth looking at. Do you know who they left out? Celine Dion did make the top 200 singers
ever. Is it like based on skill or like that you like her songs? Because skill-wise, she's like 4.
I don't care where you're ranking her. It makes no sense.
Oh,
she has great songs too.
Name one.
My Heart Will Go On, the Titanic song.
It's a hit. You're calling it a great song? That's what you jam out to?
You should see some of the dreck that's on this list. Like Kurt Cobain being up there for a great singer. I don't think so.
He was great.
Okay. I'm going to send you the link. If you want.
So you'd rather go to a Celine Dion concert than Nirvana? You're an idiot.
I didn't say that. I would absolutely.
Did say that.
No, I didn't. But when you're talking, the people that they have up there, I really, really want you to take a look at this. And again, we could do like a top 10 if you want for next week.
List,
I'll send you the list.
I'll delete it and send it again.
And last candidate. Drunk man urinates on a woman from a New York to New Delhi Air India flight.
What's the problem?
You can't say that on television?
Hey, Alistair. I loved that show.
Got up and pissed all over somebody.
Oh, I thought he like couldn't make it to the bathroom and it was like accidental. He whipped out his schwanz and just went?
Yeah.
Oh. That's not great. I thought he like didn't make it and like
No, he was like, this woman's on fire. Let me put her out.
That's what he said.
No, that was Family Guy.
I know.
Ronaldo, no tailgating at SoFi, world's best McDonald's. Kim K, Victoria's Secret plus size brand CEO. Celine Dion left out of the top 200, not even 100. And a drunk man urinates on a woman from a New York to India flight.
That's real bad, but I hate to say it because it's a collective and it involves more people. It's SoFi Stadium. Like, Jesus Christ, let people do what they want. If you want to go in sober, it's your option. This is America, but let them drink. America. Rock, flag, and eagle.
Zach, we're doing trivia today all about Hawaii. I got 5 questions for you. Are you ready? Oh my God, Chris Kattan started talking about Don Ho. Nobody knew who he was. And I had to look him up too. Name his number 1 song because he has 1.
Oh, Come back to me on that one. Yeah, what's it called?
Question number 1. Plus or minus
ukulele.
3. How many letters in the Hawaiian alphabet?
37.
Ron Katz, Tiny Bubbles is correct.
Ah, he's right. That's it. Damn.
Which I had never heard until we watched this Acapulco show and they sang it, and it was in my head all week. It's 37 for the Hawaiian alphabet?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to give you 12 or 13 because they actually count the apostrophe sometimes as a letter, but it's A-E-I-O-U, and then it's H-K-L-M-N-P-W, and then the apostrophe. So 12 or 13, so you're not even close.
Yeah. I thought they had more.
No, way less. That's Hebrew you're thinking of.
They have less than us too, I think, those heaps.
Question the second.
They'll negotiate it with you.
There are 2 commercial pineapple plantation factories in Hawaii, Dole and Maui Gold. Plus or minus 10, what percentage of the world's pineapple supply do they make?
Okay, well, there's also the big Del Monte money, so that's got to factor in. Plus or minus how many percentage points?
10.
80.
2% comes from Hawaii. I think that's just an import-export thing, but I heard that, I was like, that is shocking, right? Because you think pineapple Hawaii.
Yeah. Do I?
Number 3.
Now I do.
Everything there is pineapple. They put a pineapple for everything. They have pineapple. No, it's right side up.
Yeah, maybe.
Question number 3. Most people consider Mount Everest to be the tallest mountain in the world. It turns out where you measure from makes a difference.
Well, it certainly does.
Starting at the ocean floor, Mauna Kea, on the Big Island is number 1. Yeah. Plus or minus 5,000 feet. How tall is that mountain?
I don't even know where to begin. Plus or minus 5,000 feet from the ocean floor?
From the ocean floor.
I don't know. How tall is Everest? 60,000 feet? Maybe? 65?
33,496.
I'm going full Allison tonight. I know nothing about this state.
Yeah, this is not... Well, I think you're going to get one. Let me switch it. Question number 4.
She must hate that.
Plus or minus 7. What is the average life expectancy in Hawaii as of 2020? Plus or minus 7. Average life expectancy.
90.
Correct answer is 81.
Oh, God. Struggling.
I was hoping you'd say, like, all right, normal's like 76, so you add, like, because people in Hawaii are doing a lot better.
Yeah, well, I thought something. All right, let's go.
All righty. You're not. I switched it so you'll get it.
Oh.
Number 4. Name the battleship that was hit the hardest during the bombing of Pearl Harbor that resulted in 1,777 deaths.
The Missouri?
Was it A, the USS Arizona, B, the USS California, C, the USS Oklahoma, or D, the USS West Virginia?
It's the Arizona.
It is the Arizona. I knew you'd get that one.
I saw the oil still coming up. So gross.
80-some people still entombed in that thing. Why are we not letting them out?
I don't know. Like, yeah, couldn't you just, like, cut a hole and pull them out? Who knows what else is in there? Like gold and cool other stuff?
We couldn't get tickets to go from, here to there. I was all set. You could see it. I don't.
What do you mean here to there?
You needed tickets to go from the main part of Pearl Harbor to go over top of the Arizona and like look down at the ship.
You do?
Yeah.
Not my day. You didn't. You just did it. It was 100 years ago. I went. I'm married. God knows how long.
Booze Your Day, the podcast. Thanks for listening to tonight's episode. We had fun. I think we're going to be able to get in one more of these before the wedding next week. But Zach, are you getting excited? Getting nervous? Got a big speech coming.
I do, and I'm excited. I did my edits today. You got all of it. You haven't done it yet? Oh, you petulant child. Yeah, I looked at my stuff. I'm good.
We out.
I'm excited.